Thank you. This means so much to me. I've done a lot of things. I've gone a lot of places. And Brittany, I think you said it best. It's interesting to return where it started. I didn't know what gifts I had. I didn't know what was in me that everyone saw. I just knew to my grandmother, I moved around too much, and I was moving 100 miles a minute. When Villa approached as an opportunity, my grandmother said, "You do know how far that is, right?" I said, "No." She said, "I want to say this. If I have to wake you up any morning, it'll be your last day at Villa." Every morning I stood at the top of those steps, and I was ready before she was. To my knowledge, I never missed a bus. I was never late for a bus because I was going to make it. Little did I know at that time, so much dedication, perseverance, and hard work were all being implemented in my life. Because for me at the time, I was just young, and I was on a bus and another bus to get to Villa. Did my homework, had great conversation, but I utilized that time to get things done that I might not have had due to staying at Villa for practice and my wonderful grandmother in the parking lot every day, back and forth to Philadelphia. I didn't know what it all meant. I didn't know where it was all going. But as I stand before you today, what a wonderful story it's been. I didn't know how much Villa helped me become the woman that I am, the person that I am. And the whole part about a single-sex education, I left Villa thinking that I was going to take over the world. And trust me, I'm still trying. A wonderful name was mentioned, and that was Leo Cullen. I can't put into words what Mr. Cullen, Sean's father, did for me. Like I said, I didn't know what my talents were. I didn't know where I was going, but they believed. Kathy believed. And I was just along for the ride. Sean, I don't know if you remember this. My freshman year in track and field, I got my butt kicked. And I said, wait a minute. Everybody said I was fast, I could move, but I stepped on the track and I lost. And Sean called me one name, and he's called me this to this day. He called me champ. And he kept calling me champ. And I said, yeah, but Sean, I didn't win. He said, that's all right, champ. You'll get out there and you're gonna do it again. And then I had an opportunity to start to become in love with the long jump. Well, I got my butt kicked in that too the first time I tried it. And I was saying, where's this thing going? And he said, champ, keep at it. You're gonna get it. And there was this one girl that I competed against. Her name was Talonda Kane. You all might not be familiar. But she was the long jumper at the time. She had a coat on, and her coat said state champion long jumper. And I said to Sean, I said, I want that coat. I said, and I wanted it in Villa colors. I said, I want it. And he said to me, he said, champ, you want that coat? I said, yeah. He said, well, we're gonna get that coat. He said, what do you think it's gonna take? And I think at the time, I was jumping maybe 15, 16 feet. And I said, I think it's gonna take me 16 feet. He said, you know what, champ? You jump 16 feet, you win that championship, I'll get you that coat. Every day I stepped out there, I just had the coat on the brain. And every time I saw Talonda with her coat, I said, she just doesn't know I'm about to take her coat. Long story short, that next year, after I stopped playing basketball, I then was bound and determined, because a lot of people didn't understand what the long jump was. They didn't get the magnitude of it, and neither did I. I just knew I fell in love with something that I didn't quite understand. And with Sean and with his father, they helped to put help in my way for me to learn. Because Mr. Cullen didn't quite know how to coach the long jump. Sean knew something, but they sought out avenues and resources and people who could assist. The one thing I marveled the most is they said, we know what we know, but we also know what we don't know, champ. And we're gonna figure it out. And they did. And that was a big key to who I've become. Because I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. But I'm humble enough to know that. It's been a wonderful, wonderful time in having this perseverance and being able to accomplish so much. Because when I did it, I was just having fun. But now, to look at the story, to look at how it panned out and to see where it began, it brings tears to my eyes. And my mother and father, they're no longer here. I lost my mother 11 years ago, and I lost my father 6. And I would say that they're, largely responsible for me being here. And God bless them. But this lady right here, if anybody knows me, they know Granny. When I received the call after, is this Angie Brown? And I dropped the phone because no one calls me Angie Brown anymore. I'm Angela, and I'm Coach Brown now. So I said, whoa, hello? And they said, it's Mr. Gifford from Villa. And I said, Villa? He said, you've been nominated for the Hall of Fame. How's Grammy? I said, she's amazing. But he asked with a little trepidation. I was like, no, she's alive and very, very well.
Grammy.
Grammy, you believed in me. You taught me faith. You taught me dedication. And you listened. I don't know how you did it, but you did. You gave so much of your time to see to it that I had my time. And I can't thank you enough. I always said if I become a part of the woman that you are, I won. And I'm glad that you're here, that I can say that to you. I'm glad that you can be present to see this. Because if it wasn't for you, Miss McCartney wouldn't have had anybody to convince. And so I thank you. I do. And to my 2 daughters, they've heard a lot about what their mom has done. And they've heard the stories, and they both still think they're faster than mom. I'm glad you're here too. I visited Bill on Wednesday. It was my first time in a long time. And I had my 2 girls in tow. And they were just like, Mom, this is where you went to school? This is where you were my age? And I was proud to say yes. And I looked around and I saw the uniforms. They hadn't changed much since I was there. Which is pretty amazing. But structurally, so much had changed, from buildings and additions, and I just said, wow. But the one thing that stayed the same was the culture, the girls. Every student that I was introduced to looked me in my face and said, I'm so glad to meet you. I've heard so much about you. And I was like, thank you. One student said, have a nice flight home. I was like, thank you. But they were very sincere and genuine girls, and that hasn't changed. In this day and this time where there's so much ever-changing, from technology to what have you, to step back onto Villa's campus and to still feel like a lot was very similar, it's a very warm feeling. And I had to say this, sister, I commend you. I think this is amazing. I'm so glad that the history, the tradition, everything is still intact, because it was wonderful. And now my girls are trying to convince me to move back home.
Yeah, you have to come back.
And Grammy said to me, she said, Angie, don't get up there and talk forever. So Grammy, I'm not. I'm gonna close. But I say thank you to Villa. I say thank you to you, Kathy. I appreciate everything that you've done. I appreciate everything you introduced me to. I appreciate the journey. I appreciate my friends, my teammates. Mr. Barnes, I appreciate your support for all the years, the friendships, everything. And Miss Polly, whether you realize it or not, you left such a mark on me. In me being the athletic director that I am today, you laid such an example of passion, of fervence, of tenacity. And I thank you, because I love what I do. I truly do. I love every aspect, thread, strand, tapestry of sport. And to be able to deliver safe sports programs in my school or institution, I really thank you. There you go. I didn't know that that's where I was going to land after track and field, but I love it. I love every bit of it, and I deal with each athlete as if they're my own. And I just thank you. And I'm among an amazing induction class. You all are awesome. You really, really are. And I'm so grateful, and I'm so privileged. Thank you all.
I told Angie's daughters, if either of them has a jump shot like hers, they can move into my house.